Have you ever felt like your life suddenly spiraled out of control for no clear reason? Like invisible hands were pulling the strings behind your worst days? What if the chaos in your health, your relationships, even your finances, wasn't bad luck at all, but something far more sinister and intentional? Stay with me, because today we're uncovering the 5 disturbing signs that someone might be using witchcraft to manipulate your reality, and how to spot the hidden forces working against you before it's too late. In this video, we'll expose the 5 chilling signs that someone may be secretly using witchcraft to interfere with your life, and more importantly, how to recognize these hidden attacks before they destroy your peace, relationships, or success. You wake up feeling drained. Your energy's gone, your motivation has vanished, and your relationships seem to unravel for no clear reason. Your once thriving business is suddenly struggling. People avoid you. Even your own body feels like it's betraying you. These things might seem unrelated. Maybe you've even chalked it up to a rough season, bad luck, or burnout. But what if they weren't? What if what you're experiencing is not a coincidence but a targeted spiritual assault? Yes, witchcraft exists. Not in the fairy tale sense of pointy hats and broomsticks, but in the quiet, hidden rituals practiced by people who carry envy, resentment, and ill intent in their hearts. In today's modern world, witchcraft wears many masks. It could be cloaked in energy work, disguised as spiritual healing, or performed in secret by someone you'd never suspect. And when it's aimed at you, the effects can be devastating, unless you know what to look for. Today, we're going to walk through 5 unmistakable signs that someone might be using witchcraft against you. These aren't vague superstitions or paranoid fantasies. These are consistent patterns seen across cultures, time periods, and personal testimonies from people just like you. The first step to protection is awareness, so let's begin. Sign number 1. Sudden, unexplainable patterns of misfortune. Everyone goes through rough patches. A missed deadline here, a bad day there. But when bad luck starts to feel like it's scheduled, when you find yourself constantly under fire in multiple areas of your life, pay attention. This is the first red flag. It's not just about having a bad day. It's about having the same kind of bad day, over and over, targeting very specific areas of your life that once ran smoothly. Maybe your finances were solid, and now your clients are vanishing without reason. Maybe you were healthy, but now you're constantly sick or injured. Maybe your once loving relationship is now full of bizarre arguments and emotional distance. If all of these disruptions seem to appear suddenly and simultaneously, that's a serious indicator that something deeper is at play. Picture your life as a well-oiled machine. Now imagine someone deliberately throwing sand into the gears. Nothing functions the way it used to. The timing of the breakdown seems too precise to be random. That's how witchcraft operates. It creates specific, repeating patterns of disruption. These aren't isolated moments. They're carefully timed attacks meant to dismantle your stability. And here's the eerie part. The interference tends to strike when you're close to a breakthrough, right before a big opportunity, just as you're about to find happiness or move forward. It's like something or someone is working overtime to sabotage your progress. So how do you tell the difference between natural challenges and supernatural interference? Start a journal. Seriously, track what's happening. Write down the time, the situation, who was around, what you were about to achieve. You may notice patterns, like how misfortunes often happen after speaking to a certain person, or when you're about to take a big leap forward in life, over time. What looked like coincidence may start to feel like strategy. Recognizing this first sign is critical. On its own, it may not be conclusive, but when paired with other signs, it becomes a glaring clue that someone might be pulling spiritual strings behind the scenes. Sign number 2. Strange physical or emotional symptoms. with no medical cause. Let me tell you about someone we'll call Linda. Linda was a powerhouse. She ran a business, stayed active, and was full of life. But out of nowhere, her energy disappeared. Every day by 2 p.m. she was completely wiped out. Her doctor ran every test imaginable. Thyroid, vitamin levels, sleep studies, all normal. Yet she couldn't get out of bed. She described it not as tiredness, but as if something was siphoning her life force. Her words, "It feels like something invisible is feeding on my energy." What's even more disturbing is that this kind of fatigue was only part of the problem. Linda began feeling anxious for no reason, especially in certain rooms of her house or around specific people. Depression hit her in sudden, unexplained waves. Worst of all, she had nightmares, vivid ones, where shadowy figures hovered around her bed while she lay paralyzed. This is the second major sign of witchcraft. When your body and emotions react in ways that make no logical sense and resist every conventional treatment. Fatigue that coffee can't fix. Anxiety that arises out of nowhere. Nightmares that feel more like visitations than dreams. When spiritual attacks occur, they often target your personal strengths. If you're a speaker, you lose your voice. If you're an artist, your creativity dries up. If you're athletic, you suffer mysterious injuries. It's not just your body, your spirit is under siege. And the hardest part? People around you won't understand. They'll tell you to just get more rest or stop stressing so much. But your body knows. It's screaming at you that something is wrong. Track these symptoms, pay attention to when they happen, and who you were around before they started. Do they disappear when you leave certain environments? Do they intensify after you speak to a specific person? Linda's symptoms vanished every time she left town, but returned the moment she came home. Eventually she realized the connection. Her health crashed after meetings with a jealous colleague. Once she recognized the pattern, she took steps to protect herself, and the shift was immediate. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Countless people have experienced these strange disturbances and brushed them off as stress, or worse, ignored them altogether. But ignoring spiritual attacks doesn't make them go away. Acknowledging these symptoms and connecting the dots could be the very thing that saves your energy, your joy, and your life. Sign number 3. Strange objects or unusual arrangements in your space. You walk into your home and something just feels off. You can't explain it. Maybe it's a strange smell, a weird vibe, or perhaps it's something tangible, an object that wasn't there before, a charm under your pillow, a jar of herbs tucked behind a door, a string of coins arranged in a strange pattern on your windowsill. You might think you're being paranoid, but you're not. This is the third clear sign that someone might be using witchcraft against you, the presence of planted objects in your home, car, or workplace. These aren't accidents. They are deliberately placed spiritual anchors designed to channel energy toward or against you. These objects can be subtle or obvious. A pouch hidden in a plant, a red thread under your welcome mat, personal items like hair, fingernails, or photos that you didn't leave lying around. They're often placed near thresholds, doorways, bedrooms, bathrooms, anywhere energy passes frequently, and they may carry an energetic charge, like static you can't shake. You'll feel a sudden heaviness, unease, or coldness near them. What's disturbing is how ordinary these objects can appear. An old key, a small stone, a twisted piece of metal. You'll be tempted to dismiss them. Don't. If you discover something that doesn't belong, especially if it's hidden, treat it with care. Do not touch it with your bare hands. Use gloves or tongs. Wrap it in cloth. Dispose of it far away from your home or burn it safely outdoors if appropriate. These items function like energetic tracking devices. They're meant to bind or direct energy to you, often without your knowledge. Think of them as antennas for negative intention, receiving and transmitting spiritual interference. Even gifts can be suspicious if they carry strange energy. If someone gives you something that makes you feel anxious, sick, or unsettled, trust that. Your body knows what your mind hasn't caught up with yet. This sign is significant because it's physical proof. You're not imagining things. You're not being dramatic. Something or someone is trying to connect to you in a very real, very spiritual way. So if you found strange items or symbols around your space, consider it your wake-up call. Spiritual warfare often leaves a trace. You just have to learn how to see it. Sign number 4. Unexplainable shifts in relationships and social circles. This one cuts deeper than the rest. Have you noticed close friends suddenly turning cold? People who used to love you now ignore your messages, stop calling, or even gossip about you behind your back. Witchcraft doesn't just attack your body or your fortune. It targets your relationships because isolation is the quickest path to destruction. When a person wants to spiritually harm you, they don't always go after you directly. They'll target the people closest to you. That friend who used to uplift you, now they're distant. Your supportive co-workers, now they seem suspicious or annoyed. Romantic relationships filled with joy suddenly turn toxic without warning. And here's what's chilling. The people involved can't explain why they feel different. They'll say things like, "I don't know why. I just feel weird around you lately. It's nothing you did, I just don't want to hang out anymore. Something's off, but I can't put my finger on it." This is not miscommunication. It's not personal conflict. It's a spiritual wedge, a spell cast to manipulate perception and disrupt connection. Even communication itself gets scrambled. Voicemails don't go through. Texts get misunderstood. Emails disappear. It's like static fills the space between you and the people you love. And as a result, you start to withdraw. You begin doubting yourself, wondering what you did wrong, questioning your own memory, your own reality. This is one of the most psychologically damaging effects of spiritual interference, because it leaves you doubting your intuition and feeling emotionally vulnerable. So what can you do? First, document the patterns. When relationships shift for no reason, write it down. Track when it started. Was there a triggering event? A new person in the picture? Second, avoid emotional overreaction. Recognize that if this is spiritually driven, the people lashing out may not be acting from their authentic selves. And third, whenever possible, meet in person. Face-to-face energy is harder to distort. Even a simple hug or eye contact can break through the fog of spiritual manipulation. Relationships are your lifeline in difficult times, and when you see them changing for no reason, know this: something may be working behind the scenes to isolate and weaken you, but now you know how to fight back. Sign number 5. Intuitive warnings and spiritual disturbance. This is the most subtle and most important sign of all. Before any external chaos begins, your spirit knows. It whispers. It warns. And if you listen, it protects. Have you been feeling watched when no one is there? Do you walk into certain rooms and feel your chest tighten? Have your dreams turned strange, filled with shadows, chases, or messages you can't shake? This is your intuition, your spiritual defense system raising the alarm. It's easy to ignore it, to brush it off as stress or imagination. But real intuition is consistent, specific, and often physical. You feel it in your gut. Your breathing changes. Your heart races. Your instincts scream, something's not right. And it's not just your waking hours. Your dreams are powerful tools. Many people under spiritual attack report nightmares with shadowy or demonic figures, feeling paralyzed or trapped in dreams, familiar faces appearing twisted or threatening, messages or symbols repeating themselves. It's your subconscious trying to send a message from the other side of the veil. Witchcraft can also interfere with your spiritual practices. You may suddenly feel blocked during prayer. Meditation feels impossible. You once felt calm lighting a candle, but now you feel unsettled or distracted. These aren't just mood swings, they're signals. When these subtle disturbances show up alongside the other signs, bad luck patterns, emotional crashes, strange objects, relationship chaos, it's time to stop doubting yourself. You are not imagining this. Something is trying to interfere with your energy, and now that you're aware, you have the power to stop it. Conclusion: your awareness is your armor. If any of these signs feel familiar, take a deep breath. You're not powerless. In fact, your greatest protection begins right now. With awareness, by simply recognizing what's happening, you weaken the influence these attacks have over you. Darkness thrives in ignorance, but once exposed, it begins to wither. You don't have to live in fear. There are ancient, time-tested ways to cleanse and protect your energy. Burn sage or Palo Santo to purify your home. Place salt across doorways as an energetic barrier. Use sound, bells, chanting, or even specific music to clear stagnant energy. Carry protective stones like black tourmaline, obsidian, or tiger's eye. Visualize a shield of light around your body before entering uncertain spaces. These aren't superstitions. They're spiritual tools passed down for generations, tools to reclaim your power. And the truth is, you were never helpless. You were simply unaware. But now you're not. You've taken the first step toward breaking the spell by recognizing it. If you found this video insightful, please give it a like and subscribe to Stoic Voyage for more wisdom, protection, and clarity on your path. Together we'll continue uncovering what most people ignore and empower you to rise above it all. Thank you for watching, and stay safe on your spiritual journey.